Most of you know me. But for those of you who don't, my name is Paul. I've been coming to this family support group for almost a year now. I usually don't say much of these things. I'm not good at this stuff. But tomorrow marks the 1-year anniversary of my son's death, so I thought it might be good to say something. I have a hard time talking about him. His name was Craig. He was a sweet kid. Gentle. Really gentle. Like I could never get him to lay in a body check in hockey because he just didn't want to hurt anybody. And that was him in a nutshell. I never know what to say when people ask me why he did it. Nothing fits. So instead I tell the story about a friend of mine. His name is Real. He used to work for the ministry, fighting forest fires. The year before he retired, the government started this program where university students are brought in to help out. Real was one of the senior guys, so he was put in charge of one of the crews. Now these kids were only on the job for a couple of weeks. Enough time for some basic training, but that's about it. None of them had any real experience working on a forest fire. It was a really dry summer that year. Within days, Real and his crew found themselves helping out on the front lines. They were calling to set up what's called a fire line. They spent the whole morning digging it up. By midday, they had worked themselves into a small valley. The thing is, they didn't know the wind had changed direction. And it picked up pretty good too. Before they knew it, the fire was on top of them. Real knew they were in trouble. He also knew they couldn't outrun the fire. So he told the crew that they would have to turn and walk directly into the flames if they wanted to survive. Some of the kids refused. They were scared. They thought it was a better idea to try and run away from it. Real pleaded with them, begged them to follow his instructions and trust his experience. They wouldn't listen. And before he knew it, they were running away. He didn't have time to chase after them, so he had to save the ones he could. He turned and walked them right into the fire, and he was right. The 16 kids that followed him that day survived. or who didn't, died. Because no one can outrun a forest fire. Now you're probably wondering what's had to do with my son. I didn't know what was going on with Craig at the time. We didn't talk like that. Him and his mom made back. I don't know. This was harder for us than I. I wasn't there for him. I wasn't there to walk him through the fire. Instead, he tried to outrun it. Except no one can outrun depression. Oh boy. He did his best. That's all. That's all I could have asked of him.